Hi, kindergarten. So today we are going to be learning how to write a book review. And a book review is when you tell someone in writing if the book that you read was a really great book or if it wasn't too great. So we're going to be writing a book review on A Squqiggly Story, which is the book we heard on Tuesday. So today we are going to finish the story because we didn't read the ending. You guys made some really awesome endings to A Squqiggly Story and they were super great. So today we're going to listen to the ending that the author wrote for the Squqiggly Story. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to play you the reading from the beginning. That way our brains can remember what happened in the story because it's been a few days. So I'm going to read you the ending today, and then I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to write your book review. Okay, so the book we are reading today is called A Squqiggly Story, and it is a book written by Andrew Larson and Mike Lowry. You can see there's a little boy, and he's scribbling on the wall on the front cover. A Squqiggly Story. My sister loves to read big words and little words, page after page, word after word. My sister loves to write big words and little words, page after page, word after word. Sometimes I pretend I can write too. Big letters and little letters. Swirl after swirl, squiggle after squiggle. What are you doing? I asked one day while we're sitting at the kitchen table. I'm writing a story. I wish I could write a story. You can, it's easy. How? I don't know my letters. I do know my letters, but I don't know many words. Well, just write what you know. Every story starts with a single word, and every word starts with a single letter. Why don't you start there with a letter? So I get my crayons and pencils and a pad of paper and I start to write. I start with a single letter and it's an easy letter. I, it's also a word. That's a good beginning. Now what? What's going to happen? How should I know? It's your story. You're the boss. I what? I'm stuck. What happens in my story? I draw a circle. It's a soccer ball. Then I write another letter. I, soccer ball, you. It's you, I say to my sister. I'm playing soccer with you. Great. Where are we playing soccer? Maybe we're playing on the beach, I suggest. We've never played soccer on the beach. So I do a bunch of dots for the sand on the beach. Then I make a bunch of V's, big V's and little V's. Wave after wave in the ocean. Now what? What do you mean? You have a beginning. Now we're in the middle of the story. Something else has to happen so we can get to the end. I'm stuck again. I start doodling. I doodle another V, but this time I doodle it upside down. Oh no, it's a shark. It's getting closer and closer. I am playing soccer with you at the beach. There's a shark. It's getting closer and closer. The next day, I bring my story to school. It's my turn for show and tell. That means I get to sit in Mrs. Singh's chair. Everyone else sits on the carpet ready to listen. Last night, I started to write a story. It's sort of squiggly, but here it goes. Once upon a time, there was a brother and a sister, and they loved to play soccer. One day, they had an idea. They decided to play soccer on the beach. So they went to the beach and played soccer. Then they noticed something coming toward them in the water. It was a shark, a real live shark. It was getting closer and closer, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And that's as far as I got. That's a wonderful, says Mrs. Singh. But what happens next? What about the shark? What about the brother and the sister? I don't know. I'm stuck. Class, does anyone have an idea? Jack waves his hand in the air. I do. Maybe one of them kicks the ball and hits the shark on the head, and then maybe the shark bites the ball with his big pointy teeth. Elia offers another idea. What if the shark's name is Squiggles? What if Squiggles is a vampire shark? What if she invites the brother and sister to ride on her back? And what if they become a vampire family and live forever? Vampires can't swim. Everyone knows that. Of course they can swim. Vampires can do anything. But it's my story, and I don't want vampires in my story. If I was writing a story, I'd have lots of vampires. Then you should write one. But I like yours. That night after dinner, I sit down beside my sister. Her face is buried in a book. I've been thinking about my story all day, and I still don't know how to end it. Remember, you're the author, she says without looking up. You can do whatever you want. So I get my pencil and I start with a bunch of stars. Then I add a few exclamation marks. My sister told me exclamation marks make things exciting. She's right, it is exciting. I add a couple of slanty lines. What's going on? Asks my sister, looking up from her book. It's nighttime. The stars are out. The shark has gone away, and we decide to take a walk on the beach. That's when we discover a giant rocket ship. That sounds cool. Then what happens? We hear a voice. It's counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Not yet, I say, adding one more squiggle. Just before the rocket blasts off, we spy a Martian looking out through a window. The Martian invites us to climb aboard. That's a great ending. Now I have an idea for my next story. It's going to be about a boy who climbs aboard a rocket ship and takes a trip to Mars. And I think I know just how to begin. The end. So this was the ending that the author wrote in this story. So I'm going to show you now what you are going to work on today. Okay, so for my book review, I'm going to need my book review template. So this is going to be on your seesaw. And if you are not able to print it, you can either do it on your seesaw, but I would really prefer that you just make your own. So you can just get a blank sheet of paper and you can write my book review. You can have your mom or your dad write name, title, author, illustrator, and then draw a big rectangle for you. And then some stars at the bottom. You can have an adult or a brother or sister help you out with this part, okay? That way you can do it on paper and you can actually practice your handwriting. So you're gonna need your book review sheet and you're going to need a pencil. So I'm gonna show you now how you are going to do it. So starting at the top, I'm going to write my name, and you are going to need on your screen to have the book cover, because we're going to need to know how to write the title and the author of the book. So my name is Miss Huerta, and then I'm going to go to the book cover and I'm going to look to see where is the title. So remember, the title is normally on the top and it's the bigger letters. So I see the bigger letters are on top. So this is the title, A Squqiggly Story. And so I'm going to go ahead and write that on the second line where it says title. So I'm going to write A Squqiggly Story. Okay, so next, my book review wants to know who the author of the book was. So I'm gonna go back to my book cover. I'm gonna go to the bottom, so it has two names. So the author, the person that wrote the book, always comes first. So it's Andrew Larson. So I'm gonna write Andrew Larson next to the author. He was the writer of the story. And then next, I'm looking for the illustrator. So the illustrator is usually the second person. So Mike Lowry is the illustrator. Mike Lowry. And then next, I'm going to draw my favorite part of the story. So I'm not going to do this part for you, but remember to always add pencil so that if you make a mistake, you can erase it. And then you can add color to really add detail. Like in the book, there was lots of color. And if you need to go back because you don't remember what your favorite part is, you can listen to the story again. And then on the bottom, I'm going to rate it. So do I give it 1 star? It was okay. Do I give it 0 stars? I didn't like the book at all. It was horrible. Or do you want to give it 3 stars? I love the book. I want a copy of it. I want my mom and dad to go to the bookstore and buy me a copy because it was a really great book. So it's one of my favorite books. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. So I'm going to go ahead and color in all 3 stars for the book. It is really one of my favorite books. So I'm going to give it 3 stars, and then you are going to add an illustration of your favorite part, okay? So when you are done writing, I want you to take a picture of your book review, and I want you to tell me about why you only gave it 1 or 0 or 3 stars, how you reviewed it, and what your favorite part was, okay? So I can't wait to see you guys' work, and I will see you guys. Adios.